Hello and welcome to your PetXI Functional Skills Programme. My name is Dave Lewis and I am PetXI's National Programme Delivery Manager. I'm responsible for the teaching and learning, revision, consolidation and of course outcomes for thousands of learners across the UK. I'm here to give you my personal assurance that you don't have anything to worry about whilst on your journey with PetXI. We are the experts in functional skills, and we will make sure that you have the swiftest pathway of at least resistance to achieve your functional numeracy and literacy goals. PetXI exists to help people of all ages and knowledge to help them overcome barriers, whether those barriers are knowledge, skills, time, confidence, or motivation. We have the tools, people, and experience to help you and help you in style. PetXI has been running for well over 20 years now, and we have built our reputation through innovation and inspiration. We are a multi-award winning company, and although we are best known for delivering outcomes for education, we are also a strong business. So much so that our Managing Director, Fleur Sexton, was the UK Vitality Businesswoman of the Year last year. We understand the issues that people face working through their functional skills journey while balancing family and their job role. We have the tools and experience to help you in any and every way that you need it. We are here to ensure that you enjoy working with us, that you achieve at an appropriate level, and that you gain from what you have learned day to day in the function of your role. More importantly, we don't have a one-size-fits-all program, but rather everybody's individual learner needs being met. For 20 years, we have developed flexible models of intensive immersive teaching and learning. And from our ethos, we'll always be able to make the learning journey as swift, effective, and painless as it can be. PetXI Live, this is a system that we're using at the minute to allow you to have both group and one-to-one sessions remotely. Every session is recorded, allowing you to go back and rewatch whenever you need. You can interact with us live and have your questions answered immediately. And as you can see me on the camera, hello. And if I want to, I can just draw on the board here and it will appear on your screen. There's a little picture of myself. We use this on group sessions and, like I said, one-to-one sessions so that you can log on at certain times or rewatch videos. And it just allows you, when it's live, to be able to interact with us and we can answer your questions as we go along, which helps you in your learning. So you won't feel like you're falling behind at any point. It's a very, very good system, this. So, tell you a few other things I need to talk to you about. The PetXI ethos, we believe in two things: unconditional support, I use my pen here as well, and unbridled motivation. These two things together, better than everybody else does. If you get the support you need and you have the motivation that you need, you can achieve anything and get the grades that you want. That's the ethos that we've always believed in. We also believe in having accurate diagnostic tests for every single person that sits on one of these courses. It's very important that, because if you don't do that, you can't get put onto the correct pathway and you can't do everything that you need in the right time and in the right time frames. We have a mixture of methods and pathways. The mixture of methods is quite simple. We use classroom-based, we use PetXI Live, there's online resources of watching the videos, and there's a one-to-one tutor support that we give as well. Pathways, they range from straight into the exam to a 6-month course. And again, that would depend on how your diagnostic tests are, which pathway that you get put on. It's very important while I'm talking about the diagnostic tests that you do, make sure you put as much effort into them as you can, because that will determine on which pathway you get on, which will then determine how long you need to spend doing the course. Every single person who comes on will get an individual learning plan. It's very important. Again, that helps you to be on the right pathway and make sure that you understand what you're doing. Your personal tutor will have a copy of your individual learning plan because they will help you write it, or they'll even write it for you, and they will make sure that they're on track. So when they're talking to you, they know where you should be for you particular and not just a random group of people. And then last thing, we'll be looking at focusing lessons that truly understand your needs. What that means essentially is if you're struggling with certain topics, we can build lessons and videos around those topics to make sure that you are very comfortable and getting all the support that you need personally. How it's going to work? Well, that's quite simple. What we do first off is we complete the initial diagnostics and skill scan, as I just said. Make sure you pay attention to them, make sure you do them as well as you can, because that will decide which pathway you go on. Your personal tutor will then be in touch and develop your ILP, which is your individual learning plan, again, to make sure that you're okay and you're heading in the right direction. We will then assign you a pathway, which I'm going to talk you through in a second. Your learning journey will then begin. Once your learning journey has finished, whether that's a very fast course or the 6-month version, we will then get you onto an exam prep day where you will do some 3 hours worth of exam stuff and then do the exam itself. Then, of course, results and certification after your exam, and should you need it, there's also a chance for a resit. And then finally, you'll be given access to the online recorded materials all the way through this whenever you need them, and wherever you need them as well, because they can be done remotely. So, as I said, there are 3 different pathways, all of them, again, with an individual learning plan. First off, said it a couple of times, but just to make sure it's hammered in, every single person does initial diagnostic and skill scan. Then, pathway 1 is preparation exam. I'll explain what these are in a bit more detail in a minute. That's the quick one. The second one is an intensive delivery and exam, which takes a little bit longer. And then the long one is the extended support and exam. And again, this will all depend on what you get on the diagnostics at the start. So pathway 1, preparation and exam. For learners testing within 95% of level 1 or level 2, whichever they're aiming for. So on your diagnostic tests, if you get within 95%, then you go on to pathway 1. You then get an introduction via PetXI Live, where we are now, and that'll be 60 minutes, and that'll be a one-to-one session where someone will show you how to use PetXI Live and talk through your individual learning plan, which they will then develop and get ready for you. Once that is done, we'll be looking at supplementary learning via PetXI Live for the exam day. So there'll be some mandatory and optional units which we will ask you to complete in your own time. Once you've done that, you'll then come to the office or to wherever we are doing preparation and the exam day, where we will spend around 3 hours doing exam techniques and getting you ready for everything you need, followed by the actual exams themselves. Once you've sat the exam, we'll send it off to be marked, and should anything go wrong, there is a resit if required, which hopefully you won't need because you've been put onto the correct pathway. That's the most important thing, getting you onto that correct pathway at the start. Pathway 2, this will be for learners testing above 51%, but lower than 94%, which is very important. We then get you on, you'll need a bit more support than people who are running at 95%. This is the most common model, obviously. We will start with an introduction, again, with PetXI Live, and a 60 minutes on a one-to-one session. We'll then develop your individual learning plan, as we do with all of them. We will then put you on an 8-week program, a mixture of PetXI Live in groups and one-to-one sessions. Sometimes group learning, where you all log on at the same time, is really good to help, because when somebody asks a question, somebody else was probably thinking it, might not have wanted to ask it. And that helps a lot. The one-to-one sessions, obviously, it'll be one-to-one, which gives you a lot of support. Once we've done that, your tutor will do a weekly catch-up to assess your progress and address any concerns that you have personally. And then you'll be brought in for an intensive block of classroom teaching, a big group of you, hopefully 3 days typically, where we'll use our very, very experienced high five model that we use at teaching, where we will cover a lot of content and really get it drilled in to make sure you're okay. You will also do the exam prep day during that. Once the exams are done, we send them off to be marked. And again, if you need it, there is a resit, which hopefully you won't need. Then pathway 3, extensive support and exam. For this one, learners sitting at entry level up to 50% off the target that they're aiming for. Again, as before, introduction on PetXI Live, 60 minutes, one-to-one session. And again, individual learning plan will get developed. This is a maximum 24-week. Again, we'll spend 24 weeks in groups on one-to-one sessions, making sure you're okay. As before, you'll get a weekly catch-up with a personal tutor to assess progress and address any concerns that you have. Then an intensive block of classroom teaching, as before, 3 days typically. You could have several different pathways of people meeting on those 3 days. Again, during that, we will do the exam preparation day, then we will send off the exams, and then there will be a resit if required. So now that you know what the pathways are, what I'm going to do now just very quickly is just show you some of the materials that you might come across while you're working. This is on our English course. I keep looking at the screen there. These are on our English course. There are, as you can see, they're very easy to follow. They're very colourful. They are done for the right level, for the right kind of questions. Everything in here, there's no fat on these courses at all. Everything is designed to make sure you get the marks that you need and the time that you need it, and in a way that makes it very easy for you when you sit the actual exams themselves. There is literally nothing at all scary about the materials or about how we approach anything. It is a fear-free place, apart from Wayne Rooney's face, of course. So that's some of the English materials, all done at the right level. You'll be able to work out, or it's a pathway for you. You'll know which materials to complete and which not to complete. So thank you for taking the time to listen to the functional skills introduction. I know that you are going to enjoy your journey with us. We will enjoy working with you, and I look forward to hearing about all of your results. Thank you.